The season beckons. A lot of people still hurt by what happened last season. Now, it's all about Formula One this morning, and I'm one of those guys who knows a bit about Formula One. But the thing about life is this: you always have to get people who are like proper pros. And I'm joined by two guys in the studio. These guys are what you call proper F1 guys. Haya, sawa. Watazamaji wanataka kuyajua majina yenu. Najua moja naitwa Big Daddy. Is that what they actually call you out here on the streets?
No, they don't.
What do they call you?
They call me Mose Mokuah.
Mose Mokuah.
Big Daddy is my name from way back from campus.
Ah, really?
Yeah,
and it stuck to you, eh? Unajua, it's one of those names unaendaga kutafuta jina kwa Truecaller, unacheki Big Daddy unashindwa ala.
Yeah.
Alafu saizo you've been called for an interview somewhere. They're like, "Hello, is this Big Daddy?"
It's a pretty big guy.
And of course, tuko na Mr. Paddocks mwenyewe. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Mbalu Makau is my name.
Yes,
Good
Mr.
morning,
Mbalu
Calvin.
Makau. How are you?
I'm good.
Yes?
Yeah.
Just like here's a microphone towards you just a bit. Okay. Now, we were talking behind the scenes, of course, before we even got into it. We were talking about last season, of course, last season ending at such, would I call it a high or a low? Let's go with low. A lot of people were very heartbroken. This was, of course, December. I remember this weekend very, very well because I was somewhere with one of my friends and I remember him just getting very upset. So to someone who's been under a rock, someone who's probably woken up from a coma, what happened in December?
What happened in December was there's a gentleman by the name of Michael Massey.
Yes.
Who was then the race director, who decided to give the fans and Netflix a show at the last 5 laps.
Yes.
Lewis was leading the race. Lewis started in position 2. Max was on pole.
Yes.
Lewis overtook Max at the first corner and proceeded to lead the race from then on until lap 57, right?
Yeah.
Then all hell broke loose.
Yes.
What happened was that there was a driver by the name of Nicholas Latifi driving for Williams, and he had a crash.
Yes.
When you have a crash, you bring out the safety car.
Okay.
Right?
Goes round and round.
Goes round, slows down the F1 cars,
Yes.
gives the marshals a chance to remove the wreckage.
Debris, all of that, yeah.
Right? And then you proceed to go racing. Now, there were 5 laps left to the end of the race. So as the safety car is slowing cars down, one procedure is that before you resume racing,
Yes.
all lapped cars are supposed to unlap themselves. What do I mean by lapped cars? As you go racing, you end up finding that the faster cars end up overlapping the slower cars.
Okay.
Right? So
Yes.
during a safety car period, they're all bunched up into one, right? So now, before you resume racing, you're supposed to have the lapped cars unlap themselves,
Okay.
form back into formation, and then you proceed racing.
Yes.
Now, what the race director did was allow the lapped cars between Lewis and Max to lap themselves.
Wait. Okay.
And all other F1 drivers are going, wait a minute.
What is this?
What's happening here?
Yes.
Now, before that, when the prank happened with Latifi, Lewis could not go into the pits. Remember, he had been racing with harder tires.
Yes.
So if he entered the pits and the race was to end under safety car, he would have lost the world championship.
He would have.
So he was told, don't pit. He stayed out.
Keep going.
Now, Red Bull decided to take a gamble. So Max pitted, put on fresh tires, softer tires.
Yes.
And now he was 5 cars behind Lewis. So they allowed now the lapped cars between Lewis and Max to unlap themselves.
Yes.
So you now have Max Verstappen on the final lap. Max Verstappen behind Lewis. And the race director says, you're free to go racing.
Oh.
Lewis had older tires. Max had fresher
Fresh new
tires.
Fresh, soft tires.
And Big Daddy was...
Big Daddy was very upset.
Very upset.
So you guys were on the ground. Shout out to
Yep.
Paddocks Experience. Of course, if you've never heard about Paddocks Experience, by the end of this interview, you will know about them. Paddocks Experience are all about facilitating the ability for you to be on the ground at a race, right? And so Mokuah ground. What are you throwing? Are you throwing cans like as football people do? Or what is happening at this point?
For 57 laps, we were screaming, shouting, Lewis, 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 all over. All the Red Bull fans, they're called
Orange Army.
Yes.
Orange Army were just hush all through until lap
The last
58,
one.
The last lap. Once the overtook just happened down where we were watching. We were sitting at the
South
stage,
Grandstand.
The South Grandstand.
Yeah.
They stood up. We were all shut up. Hands in the air, flags, Netherlands flags flying all over.
Yeah.
It took us like 6 hours to recover.
Wow. I've been to, whenever you attend a sporting event live, right?
Yeah.
It's so different from watching it on TV. Of course, on TV, you'll be upset. You probably unhook the TV, smash it on the ground, like in Mokuah, the same air, everything. Man, that must have been disappointing. Now, to digress from that, I want to throw it back. How did you guys get into Formula One?
It started way back for me in 2003.
Yes.
I think that's the time I got my first DSTV decoder and was bored one weekend wondering what to watch. So just flipping channels. I mean, just getting in touch with, this is DSTV. Let me find out what it's about.
Yeah.
So just flipping channels and happened to come across the Brazilian Grand Prix 2003. It was a very nice race, wet race.
Yeah.
Crashes all over, and we were so engrossed. So now you want to start learning more about F1. So that was the first time I started watching F1.
Yes.
And in 2010, we decided, you know what? I think we need to attend a race live.
Yes.
So we planned it in 2010 that we want to go to the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix because they had started the year before, 2009. So the usual, we are 10 guys,
Yes.
we are going. We'll panga this thing. By the time it comes to, guys, are we ready to go?
You guys are 5.
I'm
One.
alone. That's about July. So call, book for tickets, and then you realize the Kenyan and you guys plan a year ahead.
Yes.
Called Yas Marina, and I was told sold out. I was like, what?
It's gone.
So 2010 happened like that. I remember watching the Grand Prix on TV and saying the next one will be live. So 2011, I booked in Feb.
Yes.
Booked, paid in Feb. Tickets came in September. We went to watch the 2011 Grand Prix. And from then on, it's been live on the ground in Abu Dhabi, except 2020.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
with what happened in COVID.
Yeah.
Big Daddy, for you?
For me, it's way back in 2007 when there was so much hype about the first black driver
Yes.
on the circuit.
By the way, for dear listeners, if you're interested in knowing this particular man, right, we're going to post up a picture. Ameva Mercedes juu chini. Kofia Mercedes, jacket Mercedes. So you can t-shirt Mercedes. Hey, tusiulize zingine bwana.
No.
The man has just walked in Mercedes. So of course 2007, black man.
The first black man, Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
But then he was driving
Correction,
for
sir.
Lewis
Okay,
Hamilton.
okay.
He was driving for McLaren.
Yes.
That's the first time I started getting this interest on F1. Then from then on, he drove for a few years, then we went to Mercedes.
Yeah.
I shifted with him from McLaren to Mercedes. All through. Till now.
Till now. Of course, for you, like you said, it was very upsetting what happened towards the end of the season. Now, guys like me, we're getting into it slowly. I will tell you guys this. I love the documentary by Michael Schumacher. Sad story, yes, but I love the story of everything that he did before what has happened, right? Now, let me ask you guys, what should we look forward to this season? Nini tunaangalia? What are we waiting for?
Well, it's a new set of rules, new cars. We are expecting closer racing because we have a new design of car. Same engine, turbo hybrid engine. But what I can tell you is that we don't know yet.
Yes. So you've mentioned things like closer racing. For someone who's wondering, what's closer racing?
Well, when you're following an F1 car behind, you have what is called turbulence.
Yes.
Turbulence is the air that is pushed back and causes a disturbance to the car that's following.
Okay.
Right? Now, with the changes that happened this year is that you have a rear wing that now pushes the air upwards so that it does not disturb the car behind you.
Yes.
So that the car is able to follow closely. If you watched racing last year, you'd find that whenever a driver would come close to the car in front, he would start having errors, he would go wide, he would start having skidding and all that. So that's caused by turbulence because you lose what you call your front end grip.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So now with the changes that come this year and what we're expecting out of what we've been told, closer racing. Cars will be able to follow each other closely.
Yes.
Right? Although the cars are also slightly heavier, I think it's 792 kilos.
Whoa.
Car plus driver.
Yes.
So kama wewe ni mtu umekula sana.
Hey. But they're talking about that, right? You know, I see F1 guys in the gym and all of that. Is there a weight requirement? Like, hawezi kuwa mse umekula ka Big Daddy up heavy. By the Big Daddy is not heavy.
You have to fit in the car.
You have to. The space
Yes.
is too small. The seats. So you have to. Actually, it's less than. Say, they look at less than 65. Most of them are less than 65.
Less than 65. I am mtu kama LeBron hawezi kuwa. Height requirement?
Height, I think the tallest driver is Robert Kubica. And I can't remember his height, but he's quite tall.
Yeah.
And he would struggle to fit in the car.
Hakuna watu wa 6'4" hapo. Hata 6'6" ni hard.
Nenda WRC.
So of course we're excited about it. First race going down this weekend.
Yes.
Daddy, unagoja nini weekend? What are you looking forward to seeing unfold?
First of all, we are having a watch party. The first watch party for the season, we're having it at K1.
Yes.
K1 Pitch and Butch.
K1 Pitch and Butch, to be very specific, it's K1 Pitch and Butch.
Yes.
So in these watch parties, we check in around 2 hours before the race, where we enlighten our guys on what's happening.
Yes.
Which circuits are we racing at? Like this one is in Bahrain. Introduction of all the just catch and meet up.
Catch up. We get to find out everything.
Everything. Then from there, we have the race live and full commentation. We don't play music on the background. It's full commentation. You listen to the vehicles, the cars, movement around the commentator, everything. It's just
I'll give you guys props for that because football guys also want to hear commentation and of course F1 guys as well. Kuna place nyingi unasikianga tunataka mziki. So F1 this weekend, of course K1, like you've said, come down to K1. What I like about it is the fact that Trace East Africa in partnership with Paddock Experience, we're going to be doing a lot this season. We're going to be facilitating quite a bit. So this is going to be a fast one, right?
Yeah.
Of course, for me, I've not also attended, but like he said, there's going to be all of that. What else, if I decide to bring my girlfriend who's particularly not into cars, what can she do? What will she get to experience?
We'll educate on F1.
Yes.
Yes.
She'll get to be educated.
First, she has to support the red car.
No. It's open. It's free. It's free for her.
The red car. The red car.
Yes.
Red car. And she has to know a couple of drivers. Number 16, Charles Leclerc. Number 55, Carlos Sainz.
Yes.
Forget the others, eh?
Akuda 44, Akuda
No.
63.
Forget the others.
Nothing.
Yeah.
But also, kids, right? Of course, it happens on a Sunday, right?
Yes.
Will a person like me, can I bring my daughter as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My son is a very avid F1 fan,
Yes.
having taken him to watch a Grand Prix in 2018, and from then on, it stuck with him. So you have to at least once in a while piga kengele, you tell him, hey, boss, books. F1 killer, sir.
See F1.
Yeah.
But I like the experience that, Paddock are creating and all, right? And I want to get back to the Paddock experience in terms of Qua Ground, right? You guys have been saying that you've been doing it since 2010, right? How can one be a part of it? Like, I want to attend a race this year.
Yeah.
How do I go about it from start to finish? Because, I mean, how many races do we have? 16 or 17?
We have 23, although Russia was cancelled, so it's 22.
Yes.
They are probably looking for another race to replace Russia, but it's...
Machakos?
Perhaps. Nice one.
Yeah.
Machakos Grand Prix.
Okay.
So 23 races, and what we do is that we normally look at Europe, Asia, and Middle East.
Okay.
America, Brazil tend to be a bit more expensive because of the flights and all that. So unless someone wants
a particular
race, then we can book that for them. Traditionally, we've done Monza, we've done Sepang, Malaysia, we've done Abu Dhabi, which is basically like Shags. So anybody wanting to go for a Grand Prix, what you do is that you get in touch with us, Instagram at Paddock Experience.
Yes.
Reach out and let us know which Grand Prix you want to go for, and we plan that for you.
What's the average cost? Because, a lot of people, obviously, they look at the cars, they hear Ferrari, Mercedes, and all of that, right?
Yeah.
What is the average cost? Tuseme A place close by. Kama umesema Abu Dhabi, shags, literally.
Abu Dhabi, we normally spend between 250 and 3 sok per person. That covers your race ticket, and we'll do normally a 3-day race ticket.
Yes.
3-day race ticket means you get a race ticket to watch practice 1 and 2, which is on Friday, practice 3 and qualifying, which is on Saturday, and the race on Sunday. It's a 3-day race ticket, and which gives you access to what they call the pit lane walk, which is on Thursday. So you'll be on the circuit for 4 days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now, during the pit lane walk, what you get to do is that you come into the pits and you see the cars that they're being set up. If you're lucky, meet and greet some drivers, get some autographs. But you get to walk on the grid, see the circuit.
Very up close with the cars.
You're very up close with the car. So it covers a 3-day race ticket. It covers your flight on Emirates economy. If you want business class, it will be slightly higher. It covers a hotel. We book hotels from 4-star and above. And it covers your visa. We do arranging on the visa. Just look for your shopping money.
That's it.
But
I like that. But now, kuna kitu you described, Wakenya tunasemaga with so much force. Tutaenda. Mukona mpango ya kulipa.
Kuna kulipa pole pole.
Kulipa pole pole.
Yeah, if you want to start going to Abu Dhabi, start paying from next month.
Okay.
We'll put up a package. We'll give you the payment terms. If you want to pay in 3 months, if you want to pay in 4 months, if you want to pay in 6 months, that's up to you.
Yeah. All right. And of course, when guys come down this Saturday to K1, they'll be able to have these conversations with you guys on the ground.
Yes.
Sure.
All right, I like that. So once again, this weekend, this Sunday, will be at K1. A lot of people I know are definitely looking forward to that. Shout out to Mr. I Went to Alliance, Mr. Yuri, you know yourself. A lot of people coming down. And I want to meet the community. And at this particular point, I also want to mention that we are going to be taking a journey with our audience in terms of learning about F1. We're going to be dropping a podcast in a couple of weeks where we will be able to learn. When we're talking about closer racing, soft tires, hard tires, Mina Juatu, Michelin, Bridgestone, Yala, those different kind of things. We'll be able to educate ourselves. All right. Thank you guys for coming through. It's short, but it's sweet. But most definitely, we're going to definitely have a recap of this. Of course, who's winning the first race?
Definitely.
Charles Leclerc, Ferrari.
We are going for Sir Lewis. In fact, he has added Le Balista.
So you're confident?
Confident.
Okay. You're confident?
I have a bottle of whiskey.
Yes.
18-year-old whiskey. Jeff, if you're hearing, Charles Leclerc takes the first race.
Okay. Now, guys, if it's not either one of who you guys have chosen, who else could it be? Just in case.
We shall not mention the other guy. The other guy was given a title. No.
No.
I'll go with Checo.
Shout out to, of course, the Paddock Experience for coming through into the studio.